Another wave of layoffs hit this week. Thousands of jobs lost. Nissan, Amazon, banks, schools, thousands of jobs are gone. But what most people don't realize is you can see it coming if you know where to look. Hi, my name is Scott. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to prepare you. And I apologize, I forgot my mic this morning. So I'm gonna try and speak up. Maybe I'll do closed caption. I'm out on my walk this morning. Just want to cover a couple things that I don't really know where I'm going. I just dropped myself off at a place to walk. So I'll walk and talk. Again, I'm not trying to scare you. I want to prepare you. I've got some notes because there's some stats in here that I think are important, and I don't want to get them wrong. But this week's layoffs, here's just a couple companies with a couple stats. This is a beautiful place. Let me just pause here for a second. It's a little noisy. I'll go down there in just a second, but let me read you a couple stats. First of all, Microsoft is going to lay off 6,000 people. They're laying off 6,000 people. Here's the catch. Microsoft is laying off 6,000 people. They had some of the strongest earnings that they've ever had. They aren't losing money. They're making money by the billions. And they're still laying off people. That's sad. I mean, that's just sad. Amazon, another company that's making killer money. Amazon's cutting people in retail and the device sector. Nissan's claiming the tariffs, but they're going to lay off 20,000 people over the next 2 years. 20,000 people. 20,000. Stellantis, the former Chrysler, I remember Stellantis. I don't remember Stellantis. I remember Chrysler as a kid. I lived in Metro Detroit, and all my friends' parents worked for Chrysler, worked for the automotive company. But they're going to lay off 1,000 people in their factories in Michigan this week. Let me see if I can find some shade. And again, I'm sorry for the audio. I forgot my mic. This is just gorgeous here. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let's take a look. Look at this. Let me turn this around. This is incredible. Let me put my notes down. Oh wow. Okay, this is pretty cool. All right, let me pull my notes back out. I said Stellantis, automotive companies, so that's going to be a whole nother video. Automotive companies have been in kind of turmoil, and some of it justifiably so. They've raised prices so bad, people can't afford cars anymore. Boy, there's so many things I'm going to trip over here. There's roots. Let me turn this around and show you the routes I'm walking through. I picked a perfect setting. Maybe I should do some fishing. This looks like good fishing territory. So the automotive industry in turmoil. Stellantis, I don't think they've ever been able to figure things out. It's a company based in Europe that acquired a problematic Chrysler that's always been in turmoil. But that's a subject for a whole nother video. So the tech sector has been hit throughout the past couple years. So there's more layoffs with CrowdStrike and other tech companies. Even the RV industry. Winnebago is doing massive layoffs. So that's another video, but the RV industry wasn't ready for the pandemic. There were shortages of RVs, and then they finally figured things out, and then they started mass producing RVs, and then their prices went through the roof, and the quality went way down. So there were a lot of problems with RVs after the pandemic, and the prices just went ridiculous, and people were buying it. They wanted to go escape things. And now they've got a lot more inventory. If you drive by any RV dealership, they got tons of RVs. And the interest rates now are ridiculous, so nobody wants to buy a overpriced RV that's going to fall apart that they have to overpay for 20 years. Get real. Like, if you're going to buy an RV, figure it out. Most people don't even use their RV. I could do a whole thing on RVs. I've had campers and motorhomes, and I built out a van. My wife and I do a lot of traveling in the van, and that's a whole nother sector. It's a waste of money. Most people park their RV and use it a couple times a year, maybe, and then it's just it's a depreciating cost. It's just a ridiculous cost. But I'm getting off topic here. So layoffs are continuing. Thousands of layoffs. And even colleges. So Concordia University, I'm based in Michigan. Concordia University is laying off tons of people, like tons of people. Grocery stores, Spartan grocery stores. I don't know what their situation is. I'll have to look into it. But layoffs are everywhere. Like, it isn't just one industry. Some of these are growing problems, but the question is really what's going on. If you look at the labor statistics, so here's some facts, and I've got my notes with me. Here's some facts. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says there's a 4.2 unemployment rate, which means there's over 7 million people who are officially unemployed. But here's the problem. It's just not the amount of people who filed for unemployment. Those are the people who are eligible for unemployment, who have filed for unemployment. The true rate, according to the Ludwig Institute, and I'm going to walk through these branches again, these roots. According to the Ludwig Institute, the true rate of employment, are you ready for this, is 24.3%. So almost 25% of the public is unemployed. Wow. I'll go into details on that on another video, but that is staggering. All right, well, here's where it gets better. I've been in the executive recruiting world for over 30 years, and I think you can spot the warning signs really before the press release happens. There are warning signs that companies going to lay people off. Look at that view. That's gorgeous. So here's some signs from my perspective, and I'm trying to speak up because I know there's water in the background, but it's a beautiful view. First of all, hiring freeze that no one announces. And I'm going to walk away from the noise. Hiring freeze that no one announces, and companies start quietly canceling of jobs. And I know this from the recruiting space. They slow down the hiring process. They're no longer actively interested in hiring. They drag their feet on hiring. This happens with all companies, not just big companies. And executives start quietly leaving the company. So if you see, here's what happens at most companies. Most executives, when things are going good, are doing pep rallies and getting their people excited and doing all these, I'm thrilled to be here, be part of the culture, here's a pizza party kind of thing. But when things get tough, executives go run into their corner. They don't talk anymore. They're not doing these clap dances. They're not jumping around. They are starting to be quiet. So if you see executives at a company start to go silent, not speaking anymore, really no more chitty chat amongst the people, then I'd be concerned. And if a company stops investing in growth areas, there's another point. If all of a sudden they want to be active and get involved in different things, and then they stop investing in growth areas, that's a problem. And And companies like Microsoft, they got big earnings, but then they start talking about cost-cutting language. The language that they have is more about, hey, we're doing really well, but we want to protect that growth, or we see things in the future, so we're trying to be ready. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. We're trying to be ready for what should happen in the future. We want to make sure that the company is in a good position. All those things are warning signs. All those things are concerning. These benches look wet. I'm just going to sit here, though. Oh, it is wet. So, why does it matter? Why does this really matter? Fewer jobs, more competition. More competition means slower hiring, less money, less raises, and remote jobs get 100 times more difficult and are first on the chopping block. And why? We could talk about remote jobs. As somebody that is hired for companies, I understand remote jobs. I've worked remote most of my life. What happens? Like, what happens with remote workers? They're the first ones to get cut because, first of all, you're not doing the politics in the office. They can't control you as much. Most of the time, remote workers, they're either not doing their job, first of all, or they're overachievers. And there's not that many overachievers in companies. And that's a whole nother topic. But, and then what happens is senior people start applying. When there's fewer jobs, senior people start applying for those jobs. They want the jobs. They're actually applying for mid-level jobs. So you got overqualified people in roles. You'll never get those roles. If you're a mid-level or lower level, you'll never get a promotion. You'll never get another job because the competition's too tough. Like, it's just too tough. So the key is your company really might be next on this list. And not because the economy's bad, but any glitch or any hiccup, and a company is protecting its own asset, its financial asset. And again, I don't want to scare you. I want you to be prepared. So here's some advice that I give to friends. Okay. And again, I'm not giving advice. I don't know your situation. People get crabby. Companies get crabby. And you make yourself an easy target. Don't make yourself an easy target. Don't make yourself valuable. Like, that's my advice. That's it. I just want to be honest in the conversation. I want to help you prepare. And there's a lot of layoffs. I'll cover things that are in the news, and I'll try and translate what's happening, give you my thoughts on solutions for these. So the question for you really is, are you seeing slowing in your hiring at your work? Are people leaving? Are the executives hidden? Are they staying quiet? Drop it in the comments. I'd like to hear what's going on. And you don't have to tell me your company, but maybe you tell me, I'm saying this for a friend. Whatever you want to do. You can survive this stuff. Like, you can survive layoffs. And it's usually not the loudest people that do so. But it's really the way you survive this is by paying attention, by being prepared. And that's what I'm here doing. And if I can help you, if you've got a topic, if you want to cover something, I need a lot more walking as I'm sitting. I need to lose some weight, and you can help me more than I can help you. But if there's a topic you want to cover, I'll do my research. And as the Ludwig Institute said, almost 25% of the people are unemployed. I'm sorry. If I can help you as a recruiter, as a friend, as a YouTube, whatever, I'm glad to help you, whatever I can do. But put it in the comments, and I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.